It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills, and it's coming up next.
This is an all-sports station production.
On a gorgeous late summer afternoon, it's time for football from Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. Coming up, it's a rematch from last year's AFC wildcard round, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, the wait is over. The regular season is upon us. It is kickoff weekend around the NFL. Our two teams here getting in a final tune-up, but let's look ahead to the 2023 season. What are you going to be watching for?
How about some of the recognizable new faces in new places? Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Odell Beckham Jr. The identity of teams under new coaches in places like Houston, Carolina, and Denver. And then, of course, the rookies. After the draft, we want to see how they perform.
And we are underway in Buffalo.
Free kick out of bounds.
Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
Allen now on first down. And incomplete to open things up.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. 2nd and 10. Now Allen. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Now the new pickup from New England. This is Damian Harris. Christian Wilkins there defensively for the stop.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. This is caught. And the Bills are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Harris is in. Touchdown, Bills. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
It's Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. And it's 7-0 Buffalo. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was Damian Harris who finished things off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now Tua Tagovailoa gets set to lead this Dolphins offense for the first time.
Injuries overshadowed a great season from Tua last season. He led a Miami passing game that was one of the best in the league, and even more importantly, took them to the postseason for the first time in 6 years. That jump they were looking for from him, it absolutely occurred.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now their 31-year-old running back, Raheem Mostert. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
All right, I've got to be careful here, all right? He's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his feet as far as he's concerned.
What he's saying, I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, I'd say a couple people didn't get the read correct, huh? Zone coverage. Linebacker dropped right into the proper spot. Lucky that one wasn't picked off.
Was looking directly in his eyes as he threw the football, and you're right, it was telegraphed. Probably should have been picked. No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
You're looking there, the defensive back is maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
So here come the Bills out for their 2nd drive. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time, let's keep doing it until they stop us? Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
To throw, it's Allen. They will find Davis. That's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
So the completion there, but Charles, looking at this defense, certainly in for a tough task here this afternoon. What are some of the keys for them if they want to come out on top?
Well, the first thing, partner, is they just allowed a completion there. They don't want to get a string of those going. Let him get his confidence. Let him get into the rhythm of the game, the flow of the game, and all of a sudden, he's feeling like he can do no wrong. You want to really get after his timing a little bit, knock a few balls away, and make things uncomfortable for him. Because if he feels relaxed, you are in for a tough afternoon.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Flushed out right. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
On the slant, he's got Davis. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that will bring up 3rd and 1.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Working the middle here. That's complete to Knox, the tight end. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up the 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
2nd and 2, first down marker at the 8.
Harris running straight ahead. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards. 2nd down.
A gain of 3 brings up 2nd and goal at the Dolphins' 3-yard line.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Bills 7, Dolphins nothing.
Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try and run with Harris. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal from the 2, and they're going with a jumbo set offensively. On play action, Allen under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Call it a loss of 8 there, and it's going to lead to a 4th down. 4th and goal. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
So on 4th down, off goes Allen. On comes Tyler Bass for the Buffalo field goal. This a 27-yard attempt here. The kick by Bass is good. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
In motion, Hill. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. Now Tua. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That was a long pass attempt downfield, and the ball was popped up in the air. And how come things go from really fast to almost slow motion when the ball's up in the air and the defender's unable to haul it in before it hits the ground?
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 47. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill. Complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 47 yards. And the Dolphins have cut it back within a score. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Nyheim Hines now out of his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Got a man, that's Trent Sherfield. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. And this returnable for Hill. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. He'll try to generate some more steam on offense down to the scoreboard 2nd quarter. Not necessarily his fault, but he's always a guy they want to get extra involved.
Keep finding ways for him to get the football. Keep force-feeding him in that way. Get to the half, kind of reboot, start over again to try and erase the other things that have them down on the scoreboard.
They'll be looking for a little more juice here in the 2nd quarter before they do hit that halftime locker room. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
Waddle, the motion man right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Oh, the motion comes too late. And this is going to be a delay. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Mostert. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for him.
The Bills bring out a couple of extra defensive backs to defend this 3rd down play.
Yeah, they're going dime. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. The try. They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, it looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Here's Tua. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Raheem Mostert, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got them down close. I think that big play left them reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 14-10. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Meanwhile, Allen's throw going to be caught by Davis. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 31-yard line.
Throwing now is Allen. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
Allen and Knox teaming up there for Buffalo first down.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done. When the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. On first down, Allen. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Again, they'll throw with Allen. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Allen now looks to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. To the air, Allen. It's hauled in by Hardy. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Operating from the red zone now. Allen, he's got this one complete to Sherfield. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
At the 6-yard line.
Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2.
some points on the scoreboard.
Allen going to throw. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch, looked good doing it, but couldn't get his feet down in order to finish off the takeaway.
We got that cheat code offense.
Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. And that one, another one thrown incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They run for it with Harris. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about it.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Tua sets up to pass it. Being chased out left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And a 5-yard gain gets them to the 42. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Third and 8. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Third quarter starts with a run from Mostert. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 62 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, we often poke a little fun at running backs past the age of 30. Oh, they're getting old, they can't run anymore. Well, he's showing past the age of 30, you can still have some nice runs like that.
You certainly can, and I think that we're starting to expand our definition of old running back. Because it used to be as soon as they hit 30, we want to get rid of these guys and go to the younger guys. But now that the guys are taking such great care of themselves, as you pointed out, you can still get explosive runs at any age.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second and 4 at the 17-yard line.
Tua going to throw. That's caught. Waddle on the left side. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Tua setting up shop to throw again.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That's swung out to Mostert.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
Ed Oliver that time the one to get in there and bring him down. Third and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That fifth defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Sanders' kick is good, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away.
On the return, it's Nyheim Hines. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Bills take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Allen going to fire quickly and get it to Diggs out wide.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On second down, this is Harris. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here now a 3rd down and 8. Here's Allen. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Here's Hill on the return. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
Miami's offense set and ready to go.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
90 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 34.
Once again, it's Mostert.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Ed Oliver through the line and hitting him for the loss.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now Tua. Quick slant, Tyreek Hill with it.
Just a gain of a couple there. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Ed Oliver picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
To throw, it's Allen. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. They will find Davis. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time, and a Bills 1st down.
A couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Allen. And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down.
It certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
They'll try the right side with Harris. And he'll get this down close to a 1st down at about the Dolphins' 44. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
The Bills on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Allen. And that is incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Miami set to take over. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 12-yard line. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And going deep for Hill. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play there for Miami. 48 yards.
There's another big play for him right there, and that's not the first time we've said that throughout this game. This last catch puts him over 200 yards receiving for the ball game and leaving the defense with just one word in their mind: helpless.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, a run with Mostert. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And they get 17 more on that one and another 1st down.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Tua's throw is taken in by Waddle. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Here's Mostert. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Again, it's Mostert. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Jeff Wilson. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Dolphins have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead now up to 14. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Allen. They'll fire this deep for Hardy.
And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
Throwing is Allen on third. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together?
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Allen's throw is complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 50-yard line.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. From midfield, here's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Allen now on first down. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
The pickup of 6 brings up 2nd and 4 at the Dolphins' 26-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. Now 2nd and 4. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Allen's throw here taken in by Knox. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
A big play looming on 3rd down. To throw is Allen. And this is going to be incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here's Allen. Pass taken in by his big tight end. He will have the conversion and more than that. Touchdown, Bills. Dawson Knox, a touchdown grab from Josh Allen. And the Bills have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bulling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
.90 ticks to go. Still time, but they need this onside kick. And the Dolphins are going to recover. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it, But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
They go back to the ground, this time Mostert.
Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third.
Try to take this home, they'll run.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. So a big one coming now for Jason Sanders. This to perhaps salt this one away. And that is no good. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game. Well, things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drop.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
This is 1st and 10. Throwing, Allen. That is complete downfield to Knox.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Just a critical breakdown defensively turns this into a huge play. And now you've got to get up to the ball and get moving.
Final minute, no timeouts at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10. Now Allen.
And that is caught. It's Davis. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Bass on for the extra point.
And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as it kicks away here. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
So now here come the Dolphins.
Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
Here's 2nd down and 3. Now Tua. Connecting with Hill, and he is out of bounds with the first down as the clock ticks inside of 30 seconds. Two timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10. Here's Tua. That's caught by Wilson. And he'll be taken down after a gain of 8, and defensively they'll say you can have that.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Throwing Tua. That's swung out to Mostert. And the defense here giving him no recourse but to get out of bounds after a gain of just a yard.
I think you would agree. Just a good decision right there. Goes for the safe play. Gets some yardage out of it.
And showed some toughness as well. As you noted, he stayed right in there. Saw the rush was coming, hung in there, took the hit, dumped it out to the outside, and now they pick up some yardage, and you have a back that's grateful to you and will continue to make plays.
And that will get him another first down, but the clock certainly working against him.
And the Dolphins first down.
4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
So the Bills going to be the first to get it as we are back underway here in overtime. This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
And here come the Bills. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing to start the drive. Allen.
They'll find Gabriel Davis.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run good for 24 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw.
A tough throw there across his body. It's incomplete.
Keeping the aggression going on defense in overtime here on 1st down blitz.
You know you can get burned on it big time if they pick it up. But in this situation, they brought the blitz, put some pressure on the QB, and he wasn't able to complete a pass downfield.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. To throw, it's Allen. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well done by the defense. They did their job here in overtime.
Boy, did they ever, because now it's 4th and really long. So if you do decide to go for it, people think you might be a little bit on the nut side, don't they? But guess what? If I did decide to go for it, I'd call something deep. I'd throw a deep pass and hope that the defense didn't remember to just knock it down. If they intercept it, it's almost like a great punt and helps out your defense with field position.
Miami's offense set and ready to go. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
A run with Mostert up the middle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 118 yards rushing now from Mostert as he picks up a 1st down.
Mostert there with a quality gain, and paired with head coach Mike McDaniel of Miami, had his best season as a pro last year, nearly 900 yards in 16 games. Injuries derailed a couple of seasons for him prior, but he has shown that when healthy, he can chase the 1,000-yard mark.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. They'll try and run here with Mostert. Well, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Hines now on the return. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll start the drive with Harris. A strong running. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, A lot of teams pass to set up the run, and that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Throwing on first down is Allen. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On second down, here's Allen. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? All right, anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath, and boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime. It's complete to Diggs. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
Keep going, keep it going, take it to him. Talk about a chip shot.
So all eyes now on Tyler Bass. This to win it in overtime. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and we will play on here in overtime.
Oh, that's so deflating, Brandon, because you know he was thinking to himself, just give me a shot. Just put us in a position to win the game, and I'll get it done. But this kick, not on target, and we'll keep going here.
Miami set to take over. Well, this is a pretty rare situation here, Charles. You get into overtime, neither team coming through with even a field goal on their first drive. So now, sudden death with the time remaining. Next score wins.
And now I would say that going at it might be a little bit easier for both teams now because they've eased into overtime. That first series, boy, everything on the line then. Now you've seen what a defense is throwing at you. You can make some adjustments, and all you need is 3 points to win it.
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
Now this throw caught left side. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
Just straight money right there. The biggest drive of the game, a chance to win it in overtime. If they've been saving that play, they sure pulled it out at the right time. A huge turn of events there.
And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. Now the Bills will take another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime.
time, he's able to split the uprights. And it'll be a good time at South Beach tonight. The Dolphins have won the game.
And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel. Came in full of confidence,